Good morning, Facebook. It's Lexi here. How are you? Happy Monday. So today I want to talk to you about a key ingredient in life that will make your life less stressful and happier. And it's about trust. Today, my special guest and I, Chloricia Lake Myers, otherwise known as Reese, is joining me, and she's going to be hopping on right away. There we go. And today we're going to talk about trust and what an important ingredient is for your life to live a healthier, happier life. And there she is. Good morning, Chloricia.
Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
I hear you fine. I was wondering if the sound was coming in clear. Hey, Denise. Oh, sorry. I got excited. All right.
That's okay. Hey, Denise. Glad you could join. So, yeah, welcome, Chloricia, and thank you for joining me in this broadcast today.
No problem at all. Glad to do it.
Awesome. So, audience, Reese is also known, or Chloricia is also known as Reese. So I'll be referring to her back and forth either name. I hope that's okay, Reese.
That's fine. Perfect. I'd say I am
Awesome.
sweet, chocolatey, small. I'm only 4 feet 11 inches tall. So, like a Reese cup.
I love that. Hey, Jed. Hey, Allison. Hey, Todd. That's good. We've got some people joining us. Awesome. Hope you're all having a great Monday morning, Monday afternoon in a lot of places.
Yes, I think you in
So,
Canada. Yeah. What's your time
what's
zone?
that?
What's your time zone?
Um, Mountain Daylight Time, so it's
Okay.
11 a.m. here right now.
Okay.
Hi, Aisha. Awesome. Let us know in the broadcast, or let us know in the comments, please, where you're watching this broadcast from, and say hello. So, yeah, Claricia, today we chose to talk about a key ingredient in life that helps us be less stressed and a lot happier. So, let's jump right in. We want to talk about trust today and how important that is to give and to receive. Um, Claricia, what has anything happened? Do you want to share a story about something about trust in your life?
Okay. Well, most of you know I'm a school teacher, well, retired school teacher. And, for any relationship, whether it's a marital relationship or with children or colleagues, trust is an important character trait because without it, it's difficult to get things done. Parents entrust their children to the teachers, educators every day for us to do our best to teach them, so they can go off to work and not be worried and concerned. But there's so many different stories I can tell, but what I wanted to just bring to you is, you know, our children, they look to us as leaders, and we model for them the behaviors that we want them to adopt in their lives. I'm thinking in particular about one day that I had taken the children to the cafeteria, and I've taught kindergarten, first, second, third, and my very first year was seventh grade. But in this one particular instance, I was teaching second grade, and took the children to lunch. And you have to stand in the line and receive the trays and give it to them because they're little, they can't reach up there. And by the time they all sat down and I got the condiments, see, this is a 25-minute lunch break, you know, I thought all the kids were settled. One of my students had gotten up and went back to the classroom. I usually lock the door, but sometimes I may have forgotten the key or whatever. But he went in the room, in the classroom, and he got my candy jar because we have incentives to encourage them, and he had selected all the candies that he had wanted. Kids, especially when they're little, they want to please the teacher, and if you have something, say, oh, could you hold my keys for me, they're anxious to do something to please. But my little friend went to the room and he stole a lot of candy. He took one of the other kids' book bags, and you know that right there, he broke trust. So now I knew I could not depend on him to do the right thing. You know how it's strange that trouble seems to follow some people all the time, and this little boy, trouble seemed to follow him. But again, we have to be role models to emulate the behaviors that we want to see in our children. And trust is an important factor in any relationship, with husband and wife. If the husband goes off to the store, he says he's going to the store, you expect him to go to the store and then come back and not somewhere else. So it's a two-way street. We have to have it. We need to also expect it from others. So I think I answered the question, a little story about trust and why it's important.
You sure did, Reese. That's awesome. And folks, like Reese was saying, it's so important for adults to be good role models for kids. If they see you break the trust, they're going to model after that and do the same. They're thinking it's okay because mom or dad did it, or auntie or uncle or grandma or grandpa.
Right. And that's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. And granted, if grandma, uncle, or auntie did it, it doesn't mean that you have to continue in that mold, in that cycle, and make it an excuse.
I agree. Absolutely. It's just so important. I mean, when kids see their parents break the trust or lie, unless the parents change that mindset, they're going to be like, well, it must be okay if mom and dad do it because they look up to mom and dad.
Right.
They look up to teachers. They look up to adults and do what they do or say what they say.
Now, I want to say also that that's important in any, like I said, in any relationship. And if you have a business relationship and you work with someone and you want to know that you can depend on that person, you can trust that person. That way, if you share any personal information about yourself, it's not going to come back to haunt you. It's trust. You can't take it lightly. You have to respect the other person, and that's the only way you can be able to be trustworthy and to trust.
Absolutely. I'm going to share my little story with you. About 25 years ago, I was at a high school reunion, and this is something I've had to live with for about 25 years. We all got together and it was great talking with each other. And this one girl wanted to connect with me and stay connected with me. And she said, I'm going to give you my number and will you stay connected with me? Will you contact me? And I said, yes. And she asked me 3 times. And I kept saying, yes, I promise I will get a hold of you. I will contact you. And you know what? I never did. So, I felt bad all these years. I've tried to connect with her on social media. I can't find her because I want to apologize. I want to tell her that I learned from that and that I broke her trust, and I do apologize and ask for her forgiveness. And so, that trust was broken, and it was a personal trust, not a business trust, but I agree with you, Reese, it overlaps from business and personal. But now it's like, okay, what am I going to do with that? I failed her. I broke the trust, and I'm going to learn from that. So I learned from that and moved forward and just said to myself, I'm never going to say anything again that I don't really mean, that I'm not going to follow through on. Because now she doesn't trust me. Yeah.
Well, see, like what you mentioned, and even with friendships, sometimes, you may be going through a difficult period, and you may share something that might be very personal with someone you felt that you can trust, and then they will turn around and do something with that information, maybe broadcast it, and and it's very hard to regain or to rebuild that trust once it's broken. But change is always possible. I mean, as we grow and we learn and we develop, we have to get to a point where we have to release that, because if you hold on to it, that causes stress in your life. You have to release it and just move forward. You just know that that trust, that bond has been damaged Not saying it can never be repaired, but you know, you learn from your experiences and you keep on moving.
Absolutely. And I've moved past it. And now what I do is probably overcommit. When I say to somebody what I'm going to do and what I say I'm going to do, I'll over commit. Almost like I make sure that I make that commitment. If it's a timeline, I try to get there a few minutes early. If it's to bring this or that, I'll bring more, like say food to a function or something. And it's like I'm, almost
Compensating,
overcompensating.
overcompensating.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I've had to find that balance, because I truly need to release it. And I've learned from the mistake. I've learned that I broke the promise, and it's probably hurt me more than it's hurt her. And so huge lesson for me. And folks, if you've got something that in your life that you have, broken the trust with somebody, or they've broken the trust with you, think about that and think of the lesson that you can learn from that. And if you want to mention a little bit about that story in the comments, go ahead if somebody has broken your trust or you've broken somebody's trust, but only if you want to share it. I think that being trustworthy is very important as well. I agree with Reese so much. And also, we can't close our hearts to trusting people.
Right.
We hurt ourselves when we do that. So we have to keep learning from our lessons and keep opening our hearts to trust people, and make a wise choice and keep opening your heart to trust them. Don't close your heart off. Would you agree with that, Reese?
I agree. I agree because that's how we can live stress free, you know, because if you just hang on to it, like I said, it weighs you down, and it can be a hindrance to your growth and your destiny. So I agree.
Yeah, awesome. It's, you know, life has so many lessons, and trusting people and being trustworthy is one huge key ingredient, and it changes our lives. It impacts our lives in a big, big way. I think more than people realize.
Yes, I agree.
So,
I'm seeing some friends that popped in, and I'm like, I would just want to say hi. Hi, Edith. Hi, Bridget. And I saw some others that went by there, but we were busy talking. Glad that you can join us today.
absolutely. Hi, everybody. If you're just joining us, please do say hello and write in the comments where you're watching this broadcast from. I love to see where you're watching from, and pretty sure Reese does as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad that you invited me on, and you mentioned to say some. You asked me if I would share some other things about me that other people may not know. Was that one of the questions you'd asked me ahead?
I touched on it, but that would be great if you want to share. Super.
Well, yeah. Well, for those people who know me, and if you don't, uh, if you were to ask me how would I describe myself in 3 words, I would say I have a determined mind. When I've made up my mind about something, I'm determined. I'm dedicated to whatever I say I'm going to do. I'm going to do it, and then commitment. And those three, well, I wanted to have all 3 Ds, but those I would say describe me. I'm determined, dedicated, and committed. And so those are qualities that I'm looking for in other people who I would like to work with, you know, and people who are trustworthy.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I think that's why we connect so well too, because I am of like mind. I'm aligned with you that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really appreciate you sharing that with us today. That's awesome. And that's, it aligns with our personal lives and our business life. I'm sure that's exactly how you carry yourself business wise and personal wise, right?
Exactly,
But
exactly.
you're not wearing a different hat for each.
Right. I mean, you know, we're not actors and actresses. We are who we say we are, and people accept us at face value. But until you get to know us And those who've been following me or following you for a while, you can see that, you know. Um, well, I would say that can, okay, I'll stop right there. I'll just stop right there. Hi,
Sure,
Helma,
no
Glenn.
problem.
Glad that you all can join us today. Those are cousins of mine.
Hey. Oh, awesome. Hi guys. Hey Charles. Hey Rick. Thanks so much for joining. This has just been awesome. Thank you again, Reese, for joining me this morning. This is just excellent information to share, and I'm sure we both feel that this is trust, and being trustworthy is an awesome ingredient in life. And we're all human. We need that in our lives to grow and flourish and be the best person that we can be.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I appreciate you inviting me on, and maybe we can do this another time.
Sure, that would be great. So if people want to get to know you better, how can they connect with you? Do you have a website or a link that you want to share?
I can't recite it from memory. I probably have. I'll send you the link, and then you can post it in this live broadcast.
Okay, I sure will. And folks, if you want to connect with me, I will put a link above this video as well. And if you have any questions or comments about trust, please do put them in the comments, and Reese and I'll get back to you and answer your questions and reply on your comment or whatever. But
Oh
please
yeah,
go ahead and
Reese's domain. You can go to Reese's domain. I have that website as well. Well, it's not website, but that page.
so we can go to Reese's page, Reese's domain, and I will put the link above this video so you can contact Reese as well. Again, thank you so much today, Reese. This has been awesome, and I hope you have an awesome Monday, and I look forward to doing this with you again.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, bye now.
Bye.